Have you ever caught yourself doing something without even realizing it? Something so small that it feels completely normal, yet it quietly reveals a deeper change happening inside your body. Because when you walk through a corridor or step outside onto a sidewalk, your eyes are no longer naturally lifting toward the distance. Instead, they seem to settle closer to your feet, focusing on the ground just a few steps ahead. And at first, this feels like awareness, like you are simply being careful, watching for cracks in the pavement, a slippery surface, or a step that doesn't look quite right. And it gives you a sense of control, like you are preventing a mistake before it happens. But what if this behavior is not just about caution? What if it is your body adapting to something deeper, something neurological, that has been gradually shifting over time, without demanding your attention? Because within your body there exists an internal guidance system that operates silently, constantly telling your brain where you are in space without the need to look. This system is known as proprioception, and it is one of the most remarkable yet overlooked functions of the human body. It allows you to move smoothly, to walk without staring at your feet, to adjust your balance without conscious effort. And when you are younger, this system works with incredible precision. Tiny receptors embedded in your muscles and joints continuously send signals to your brain, informing it about position, movement, and pressure. And your brain processes this information instantly, making adjustments so quickly that you never notice them. Everything feels natural, fluid, effortless, but as time passes, those signals begin to lose their sharpness. Not all at once, not in a way that is obvious, but slowly, almost silently. The communication becomes less accurate, less reliable, and when your brain starts receiving weaker signals, it compensates by relying more on your vision. It begins to use your eyes as a primary guide instead of a secondary support. And that is when your gaze shifts downward more frequently, because your brain is trying to confirm visually what it can no longer fully sense internally. And while this adjustment helps maintain safety, it also changes the way you move. Your posture may become slightly tense. Your steps may shorten. Your body may feel less relaxed. And over time, this creates a dependency. The more you rely on your eyes, the less your internal system is challenged. And the less it is used, the more it weakens, forming a cycle that slowly reduces your natural sense of balance. Until one day you may notice a hesitation, a subtle lack of confidence in your movement, not necessarily a fall, but a feeling that you need to be more careful than before. And for many years, it was believed that this decline was permanent, that once these pathways weakened, there was no way to restore them. But modern science has revealed something incredibly encouraging, something that changes this entire narrative, and that is the concept of neuroplasticity, the idea that your brain is not fixed, that it can adapt, rebuild, and strengthen its connections even later in life, which means your balance is not something that is permanently lost. It is something that can be trained, improved, and refined just like any other skill. Whether you are in your 50s, 60s, 70s, or beyond, your nervous system still has the ability to learn and adapt. But before improving anything, it is important to understand your current level, because many people assume their balance is fine simply because they have not experienced a fall. But stability is not measured by the absence of accidents. It is measured by how well your body can respond under challenge. And in clinical environments, it is common to see individuals who feel confident until they are asked to perform a simple balance test, which is why assessment becomes the first step. And before attempting any test, safety must always be prioritized. Position yourself near a wall or a sturdy chair, ideally somewhere you can quickly support yourself if needed. Because this is not about pushing limits. It is about observing your body honestly and safely. And the first test involves narrowing your base of support to challenge your stability. Stand upright and place one foot directly in front of the other, so that the heel of one foot touches the toes of the other, creating a straight line, almost like standing on a rope. Extend your arms slightly to help maintain balance. Keep your back straight and focus your eyes on a fixed point in front of you. Then simply hold that position. And as you do, you may feel slight movements in your body, small adjustments in your ankles, gentle swaying, and this is completely natural. It is your body actively working to maintain equilibrium, making continuous corrections to keep you upright. But if holding this position feels difficult within a few seconds, it may indicate that your system relies heavily on a wider stance for stability. And that gives you valuable information, not something to worry about, but something to improve. And once you have observed this, you can move to a more challenging test, standing on one leg, again near support. Lifting your foot just slightly off the ground and holding that position, this test reveals how well your stabilizing muscles and nervous system work together. And depending on your age, the expected duration may vary. But the goal is not perfection, it is awareness. Because once you understand where you stand, you can begin to rebuild. And that is where targeted movement comes into play. Simple yet powerful exercises designed to reactivate the muscles and neural pathways responsible for balance, starting with controlled movements that engage your core and hip flexors, lifting one knee slowly while maintaining an upright posture, then lowering it with control instead of letting it drop. Because the slow descent is where the real training happens, it teaches your brain to control movement throughout the entire range, improving coordination and strength at the same time. And as you continue with these movements, focusing on control rather than speed, you begin to wake up systems that may have been underused for years, gradually restoring confidence in your body's ability to stabilize itself.